Learning Chinese. 我要去北京旅游，你觉得什么时候去最好？我要去北京旅游，你觉得什么时候去最好？你好！
More and more Americans are embarking on a journey of learning Mandarin, and it's interesting to see how different people learn differently. I don't know if this is the right way of learning or a wrong way of learning, and even the discoveries that they're making through learning this language is amazing. Thank you for being here. This is Comfort for Life. Like the video for recommendation, and let's dive into this. I appreciate your love and support. Enjoy the rest of the video.
As an American citizen, I apologize to Chinese people for all the times we didn't learn Chinese because, child, this app is a fucking trip. When I use this app, I'm not just using one app. I'm using like 2-3 apps. I'm using this app. I'm using ChatGPT. I'm using Google Translate for what ChatGPT won't allow. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
The word that I decided that I am learning today is friend. So, 朋友, 朋友. 你是我的朋友. 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 你朋友. So now I can say you friend. I'm talking like a barbarian, but I love that. This is what my characters are looking like today. I'm gonna try to say it really fast. 你是我的朋友.
Oh, okay, so I did a lot of studying about Chinese, the origins of China, ancient Chinese. So all of the pieces are kind of coming together as far as like establishing ancient China. And so here I'm marking all of the breakthroughs that I'm having when I'm learning Chinese. And so in the Chinese language, my impression was that we go A, B, C, D, E, F. And so there's like a whole chi, cha, ho, sha, 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 but it's not. It's more like a breathy. And so I did that because I was kind of like going like this, and I went like, brush it, like, and it just came out. And I was like, wow, that's the trick. That's the trick to knowing.
大家好，我有中国朋友，我每天学中文，我要懂他们说，我还不懂，我不知道什么做，我明白了 ，only cuss words and don't even start with Hanji. How am I supposed to read that? Okay, that's calm. That's fucking 叫 That's 办听是来去在 That's it, all I can read. Or maybe 我你好
So, I just figured out that with the Chinese characters, that have the little arrow going from up to down and then back up, or a little dash above it, or going opposite from up to down, right? It just clicked in my head. And I don't know if anybody else already knows this, which, congratulations. But when you say something like, dai ku la, you have to, so the ku, when you're saying that is very cool, the abbreviation or the symbol that's above the ku needs to be going from up to down, and it affects the next word when you're saying it. That's what that little symbol is for. Now, when you say something like dai ku la, it means an entirely different thing, and that ku with the arrow that's above it affects the next word, which is the la. If you say dai ku la and you go up with la, that affects the whole entire sentence. You understand what I mean? So that symbol, if it's like an arrow or this way or going from down to up, it's going to affect that next word that you're saying in the sentence. And it changes the entire sentence. So if I'm wrong, if somebody on Xiaohongshu can explain that better or can confirm this, I would appreciate it very much. Again, thanks for watching. I hope all of this comes out clearly in the sub.
So I've been learning Mandarin for the past week and a half, and I want to share my progress with you guys. I'm going to start with the easy ones first. There's hua and zhouxi. This is woshi, I am. Ni hao, hello. Shui, water. Nina, which is and you. Tea is cha. And then there's nationalities, which is Yingguoren, which is British. British. There's Meiguoren, American. Zhaoguoren, Chinese. And Italian. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but it's Italian. And that's all I know so far. Duolingo is a slow learning process and probably not the best process I could go for, but it's what I've got and it's free. So
we've all got to learn Mandarin. It's just the respectful thing to do. So my word for the day was good morning. I do not think I'm bad with I'm from the South. So pronunciation for other languages just is not there for Southern people just because we have a twang to our voice. But I'm thinking I'm getting this right. Zhao Sheng Hao. Am I right? Did I do a good job? I think I did a good job, but I might sound stupid.
Ni hao! I'm so excited to show you what I learned yesterday. Today will be day 4 on the Duolingo app. And I don't like the Duolingo app. I used the Duolingo app for 7 months last year learning Spanish, and I learned absolutely nothing. And I am more encouraged to learn Chinese because I have so many friends that I want to talk to. So this is what I learned yesterday. I got a new app. It's called Hello Chinese, and it's teaching me pinyin, and it's starting me with greetings. Duolingo started me with basic foods and drinks, which isn't necessarily going to help me right now. It's great, and I'm still using it because I'm learning, but I would like to learn how to greet and how to pronounce the different tones and learn about the pinyin. So I know that each Chinese character corresponds to 1 syllable of pinyin, and each syllable consists of three parts in total. So the initial
小红书. I'm just still following this whole learning Mandarin thing, but I was watching a video by Mandarin with Xinwei, Xinwei. Tell me if I got that wrong. And she was talking about the number 2. And in Mandarin, there are two different ways that sound completely different. R and Liang. And R is for counting 1, 2, ordinal numbers. She gave another time you use it. But Liang is for units of measurement, 2 milliliters. Or if you have 2 cups of coffee, or you're talking about age or time. And I'm sure, I'm going to the 2nd floor, or I'm 2nd place in the race. And it struck me because we've talked in the comments about the complexities of English. That 2 in English is just ridiculous. Now, I majored in undergrad in English. I studied English in the MFA program. and I've taught English. And I completely understand that it is a complicated language. But just listening to her talk about 2 and thinking, wow, 2 completely different sounding words have 2 completely different uses, whereas our 2s are homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same, and not all of them are numerical. You have, I'm giving this to you. I want to go to the store, like a 2 in action. And so that 2
is T-O. Then you have I want some ice cream too, as in also. That's T-O-O. Which the way I tell kids to remember it is the other O is because you want. That O wants to be with the with the group. The extra O wanted to be with the group, so it wanted to go to. So like I'm going to the store, that's T-O, but the extra O is if I want to go to, as in also. I come up with weird things to help kids remember, but T-W-O is the number 2. And they all sound the same, but they're all quite different. And if you're trying to write or read, you can use context clues, but if you're reading, but it could be difficult if you're trying to remember this while writing. Anyway, it was just a thought I had about the complexities of language. But I've learned quite a few things today about past tense and how to pronounce the R sound. My daughter tells me I roll my tongue like I'm speaking Spanish, so I'm gonna work on that. but yeah. Anyway.
你好，小红书，我的名字是 Dan， 我是美国人，在研究生院，我学习植物、树和生态，我自己也学中文。在小红书，我想练习说中文，听中文和读中文，希望你们会帮我，谢谢。
你好，早上好，晚上好，我的名字是 Natasha， 我正在努力学习中文，是3个孩子的妈妈，住在加拿大。我想了解中文的历史，我正在学习语言，我想学习历史。有没有人我可以跟随
小红书？
Okay, I need help because I've started and I can't stop now. So, 我的水 my water. 出处我的水 this is my water. Right? Am I saying it?
小红书
Hey, so I wanted to explain how I learned Mandarin and what helps me learn Mandarin. And it doesn't have to be obnoxiously trying to memorize stuff. I come from an art background and a musical background, so music or sayings or things like that help me memorize things, and I can retain the stuff for 10, 20 years very easily. So what I do when I learn Mandarin is I take it and I find lyrics to songs that I can write down. And I can sit there and look at the characters, the pinyin, and what it means in English. Now, the thing that I really don't care at this point is what it means in English. But the sound in pinyin is most important at this point. Once I memorize the pinyin, then I start looking at the characters, the Chinese characters, because then I can associate the sound with the characters. And that helps me a lot when learning Mandarin. Now, when I was in grad school and I learned Chinese medicine and we have to memorize 350 herbs, 250 herbal formulas, that was a totally different story back then because I wasn't concerned about the pronunciation of the words, but I associated them with what I could remember in English. So Sao, C-A-O, or grass, to me looks like cow, and cows eat grass. So that's how I remember Sao is grass. And so we have one category of Chinese herbs that are toxic, and a lot of them are grasses. So I made up a story about Farmer Huang's farm, and Farmer Huang had 10 cows. I went up to the first cow, Sao, and I said, "You, Sin Sao." And the cow looked up at me and said, "Ma Bo is big." I said, "Where's Ma Bo?" "She gan." "Where did she go?" toothfulling through the pasture. Why? To Baishan Pi. And that's how I got through Chinese medical school. So I hope these little tricks help you, and keep enjoying how you learn and make it fun for yourself and make it easy for your brain to stack the information on top of each other. Have an awesome day.
So a lot of you guys are wondering how in the heck did I learn Mandarin so fast? And the truth is I am learning. That language is not that hard to learn. However, not that fast. You got to be a computer to learn that much fluency in 2 days. No, our Asian friends are teaching us over on that little red book. However, I did use an app. There's a lot of apps out there that translate the language and actually sync the speech to make it look like very realistic, and it was a cool thing that I wanted to try for laughs and giggles and gags. So all of you internet sleuths, all of the people who are debunking and saying, oh, it's fake, it is not fake. Like, this is a real journey that I'm going to go on, and regardless of what happens to TikTok, I am still going to be on that app. I have not found a community more welcoming. They are really giving us a lesson in humanity, social impact, and how to really engage with an audience that you're not 100% comfortable with. We can learn a lot from that community. We can learn a lot from that app. And that's exactly what I plan to do, including learning Mandarin. So on that note, 小小心.
When Americans learn to write Chinese characters, a blogger from the US shared her writing practice on Rednote. She meant to write 我是美国人, I'm American, and repeat it 3 times, but she forgot the radical 大 at the bottom of the third character, 美, which means beautiful. So what she actually wrote is 我是洋国人, literally, I'm a sheep country person. A Chinese netizen joked, okay, you are American, we got it. Only native speakers can understand this joke, because in China, sheep go meh, meh, meh. In fact, if you type MIE on the pinyin keyboard, the sheep emoji comes up. But American sheep are known to go ba ba ba. Chinese citizen joked, nice to meet you, sheep country person. I love eating lamb skewers. Another son shared the evolution of the character Mei as a pictogram. It started as the image of a person adorned with feathers, which people at that time considered majestic and thus considered beautiful. As linguist Aaron points out, most Chinese characters are phonosemantic compounds, consisting of a semantic radical, which gives you hints about a character's meaning, and a phonetic component, which is loosely related to the character's pronunciation. Take the character Mao as an example. The left component is known as 反选旁, literally reverse dog radical, because it resembles the shape of an animal lying sideways. You see this radical in many characters of animals, such as 狗, dog, 狼, wolf, and 狮, lion. Right component, 苗, meaning seedlings, is somewhat similar to the pronunciation of Mao and Miao. In an agricultural society, ancient Chinese first contact with cats was in the fields seeing cats hunting mice. Hence, they chose the radical seedlings in the
Hey guys, time for chat. A lot of people are learning Chinese now, but I've noticed that most of you guys are learning in a wrong way. You're learning word by word, like 电话, which means telephone, hoping to memorize the pronunciation, tone, writing, and meaning of this word all at once. And then move on to another completely unrelated word, maybe 香水, which means perfume, right? Every time I see people learning in this way, I'm like, huh? If I learned Chinese in that way, I would never master it in my life. As a native speaker, I'm gonna tell you, it is totally not how we learned Chinese when we were kids. Stop that immediately. First of all, you have to recognize that there are at least 2 remarkable differences between Chinese and English. Number 1, English is a phonetic language. Once you learn the 26 letters and the basic spelling rules, you can more or less guess the pronunciation of an unknown word. Maybe just the stress is a bit off. For example, when you see May, you can easily guess its pronunciation. But what if these ones? They seem totally different, and there is simply no way to guess, but they are also May, with different tones. Number 2, English is composed of words, while Chinese is made up of characters. New words keep emerging in English as the times develop, and it seems there are endless words to learn. However, there are no new Chinese characters. The existing Chinese characters can be combined in different ways to express new meanings. For example, telephone. refrigerator, escalator, and computer are completely different words in English. But in Chinese, it's just a new combination of most commonly used characters like this. And there are rooster, hen, chick, chicken in English, but in Chinese, it's simply like this. So learning Chinese in exactly the same way as learning English is both slow and stupid. You should learn Chinese in the same way as we native speakers did when we were kids. First, learn pinyin. This is more important than anything at the beginning, and actually it's quite simple. It's just these elements, and most of the pronunciation are similar to English. Make sure you fully master them, especially focus on the parts that are different from English. Then comes the tones. Chinese is a tonal language, and the different tones represent completely different characters. So if you are not good at the tones, your ceiling of Mandarin will not be high. You will always sound like a foreigner. And it's not as difficult as you might think. The first tone, is like when you're thinking with a steady mood, like The second tone, is a rising pitch, like you have a question. Huh? What? The third tone, has a small dip and then a rise, like when you say, well, okay, pardon. The fourth tone, is the falling pitch when you're amazed or angry, like, wow, damn. At this point, you've mastered pinyin completely. Next, learn each character, not each word, okay? There are only about 3,500 commonly used Chinese characters. Suppose you master 10 characters a day. In a year, you will have mastered all the commonly used Chinese characters, approaching the literacy level of a native speaker, because most of us don't know many rare characters either. Try to find a book or an app like this. It's what we used when we were kids. Then you don't need any help with its pronunciation. All you need to do is learn it character by character with a dictionary or just Google it. When learning a character, you need to form words and sentences with each character, as many as you can. In this way, every single day you will make progress without feeling confused and lost. And watch Chinese TV shows, learn Chinese culture, chat with your Chinese friends. Just practice bravely, and you will master Chinese quickly. If you have any other question, feel free to leave a comment.
I'm glad you've watched to this extent. I hope you're enjoying the video to this extent. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give my 2 cents on this as an English speaker, French speaker as well, and who isn't a native speaker of those 2 languages. When I invest myself in learning a language, I want to be able to think in that language, write in that language, and also communicate. I might not speak like a native speaker, I might not have that accent, but I know that I can think, I can write, and I can pronounce words correctly. Yeah. If somebody can hear me, like I can communicate, I can have a conversation. And most importantly is being able to think in that language without doing translations. And one of the things that I've observed from people learning Chinese, they just want to communicate, and which is something that I've seen as a French teacher. You will see someone coming to you wanting to learn French, but the only thing that they want to know is to speak, or they want to pass an exam. They want to. So all these people you've seen here have different purposes, but those who are really invested in this language will start from characters. They will learn characters. They will make sure they understand the phonetics and the phonology of the language, the grammar. They will make sure they understand everything so they can be able to think in that language and communicate effectively in that language. So I'm still also gathering everything that I need to have for me to be able to learn Chinese, because it's a language that I really want to invest into and be able to make it my 3rd foreign language because it's well spoken around the world, and I'm loving China to this. I'm loving China. I really have to learn this language. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Comfort for Life. I appreciate you. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you for being here. I like the video for recommendations. Subscribe, share, thought in the comment section, and give us tips to learn this language. I know there's more to explore. Suggest to us apps, anything that you can tell us, everything on our disposition to learn Chinese. We really want to learn Chinese. I want personally to learn Chinese.
大家好，我叫李维，我叫李小涵，和我们从美国来，我们是 TikTok refugees。我们从幼儿园到现在都在学中文。今天我们要说我们最喜欢的中文歌。第一个是恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。第二个是哈利多美丽的茉莉花。第三个是两只老虎，两只老虎跑得快，跑得快，一只没有眼睛，一只没有尾巴，真奇怪，真奇怪。谢谢看我们的视频，我们希望你可以给我们一些钱。祝大家身体。
小红书。